that's the same thing you could say about prenups.
No, I disagree. Because a prenup is...
Oh my fucking God! Involved in the way Kendrick worded that for a white man to be like, well, technically that's not grammatic English, bitch. That's why you need to shut the up and not say anything regarding our culture and us at all.
You were surprised that he was number 4 on the list.
Yeah, because when's the last time that Eminem dropped the album?
This year.
Yo.
he's nominated for a Grammy. I have another thought. It could be a scorned gay lover.
Okay.
He could have been upset, knew that he was coming out there to see him. He sees him.
Where does the homosexuality come into
Did you
to
see
play?
his picture?
No, I didn't.
Look at Brian. Brian looks a little sweet.
Okay, let me look at Brian because I'm like, why are we putting...
Brian could potentially be a power bottom. Just does fit like the perfect feminine, like individual ideology, aesthetic, whatever you want to put there. Like she fits that. And I think that's why a lot of girls don't like her. Like I notice a lot of the big back ends be getting upset with Tyla, Taylor Swift, Beyonce.
Okay.
This is wrong. It's definitely Britney Spears. Britney Spears is outsold Beyonce on everything.
Britney Spears is a crack now.
Be somebody here who's going to be like, oh, we need to feel empathy for this guy because I want to live in a world where CEOs don't feel safe walking around.
You shouldn't.
Pay your protection tax to the working class by having the working class protect you from the working class.
Your whole life is revolved around talking about other people's lives.
What the fuck do you think your ass is doing on that podcast now?
This podcast is sponsored by Graffiti Tax Services. For all your tax preparation needs, you can go to graffititax.com. We're going to put the link right here. It should be somewhere. And yeah, you can head to them for during tax season. And if you have any financial or tax preparation questions, head to Graffiti Tax Services. They're our new sponsor. Thank you to Graffiti Tax Preparation Services. That's it.
Back from Turkey Day.
It was interesting.
Yeah, it was a little time apart. We wasn't as active as we normally were. So that's why we won't call it a vacation because we was debating that. But it was a little step away. We took a step back to enjoy a little bit of the holidays. But I just learned I think we learned a lot about each other. And I just feel like you don't like who I am when I'm with my family.
That is correct. You're annoying. He's like a naggy little brother.
I know how to have a good time. I'm sorry that you don't. I have fun. And I bring the joy everybody else wants around in the room.
That's a specific way of looking at it.
You see my family. They're like,
you brought out a scale for everyone to weigh themselves.
That's funny. That's good humor.
Like, that's specific.
Everybody had a good time. The kids had a good time.
Yeah.
With that. Like, even though they my ops now, like, I'm not really rocking with them like that. Had to tell them too, to their face. Like, I sat down.
Did you talk to them about that? I didn't know you talked to him about that.
Yeah.
Let's
let them know.
Let's keep talking about Thanksgiving.
We talked about it on the show when they switched on me.
But we're talking about Thanksgiving.
But no, I just feel like you see a side of me that I don't normally show here because I don't want to just sit here and shit talk everybody. I don't know if y'all respond to it the same way my family does.
No, my mom would be like, "Get this annoying ass nigga out of my house, please."
I'm having a good time with my family and they love me for it.
We value our peace.
You don't think I value my parents' peace?
No.
I go there.
I don't think you value anybody's peace. That's how you behave.
I make my parents feel alive again.
I'm sure you do.
Like I come out there, they see me, I start messing with my mom, start making little, comments and jokes about her, start doing the same thing with my dad, with the kids. Everybody just enjoys it, man. Everybody has a good time when I'm sitting there busting balls.
I've seen you make the children cry, so.
No, you haven't.
Yes.
You haven't seen me make them cry.
Yes, I have. You don't remember that?
I didn't make them cry.
Yes, you did.
No.
You made cry, literally.
That's not what happened. I'm not going to go with that narrative. Again, I don't see what's the problem, how you just hate me being myself around my family. Like, I think I have a lot of just joy that you aren't used to because you don't have brothers and sisters. I don't think you just understand that
I'm used to just me and my parents.
You're used to being the shining star for your parents and everything. Like, there is no competition.
I'm used to unwanted attention. I'm not used to like giving it out. I'm used to getting it and then like shunning it away.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's just
like I don't want you in my face right now.
See, you can take people for granted in a way that you don't get when you have siblings.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like your level of narcissism would have had to been taken down a little bit if you had like a little sister. I don't even think you could have survived with a younger sister. Just if you were the same person that you are right now, and you had to, I was
just in my bedroom.
You don't think she would be bothering you in your room?
Probably, but like there's a lock on it.
You think that's ever stopped a oh my goodness, you should have seen me. It was no stopping me. I was unlocking doors. I was doing whatever I could to get in to mess with my older brother and sisters. Again, so that's what I'm saying. Like, especially when you the youngest, that dynamic is just a lot different too, because these are the people who you seen grow up as adults. And so you kind of formulate, either making choices or not making choices based on what you see them do. And then they just see you in a way that is always going to be like younger, even though no matter what you do age wise, what you do, what you accomplish, they always going to remember you as a little boy that, they saw grow up. So that's what I mean. Like, I guess that's what pulls out at those different sides that you don't see me in our normal environment. Mm-hmm. But I guess you'll get used to it,
Eventually.
But she do like to sit there and do the little stank face sometimes. But yeah, that is your move.
I just
be just making everybody feel uncomfortable. We had like guests come that have never met her before, and they just look. Should I go over and speak, or she be scaring them away?
Your family does not drink a lot compared to my family.
I mean, that's one thing we never really was a family that, at least my immediate.
They also don't play music.
We was watching the game.
Yeah, but like, yeah, don't play music generally when we ever do anything at all.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really music people. My immediate family is like that. If you go to extended versions of my family, then you'll see more of that going on. But no, my parents,
like there were like at your dad's birthday party, there was no drinks, barely. Like
there
just
was a lot of drinks. Everybody was drunk.
I didn't see birthday. Like everyone brought their own bottles.
They brought bottles to the place.
Yeah, but like we. When I have things like there's a fully stocked bar at my aunt's,
my parents
and we show
not
up.
really. Yeah, my parents aren't really buying.
Yeah, and then there was no speaker either. Like we had to bring the little like kitchen speaker from inside.
Mom has a big speaker that we brought out. She has a big, just like the one your mama got.
It wasn't.
She was playing it.
It wasn't that.
That's hate.
That's like I remember the speakers.
No,
in
it's
the
a
tent.
big speaker. No, there's a big one that she brought out.
I don't remember it. They're just not like as lively.
Well, I mean, I can agree with that. But again, you just saw like one version. Even with my dad, that's not them in their natural habitat. We're not back in Maryland where everybody's actually home, and like, because a lot of those that came over, like my cousin's is a DJ. So if you were to go to a normal party where he got all his whole setup, then you're gonna see him play a lot more music. Okay. But my dad and my mom, like growing up, I never saw my parents drink. I didn't see my parents drink till I was an adult. They never even did it like that. Was
I gave your dad 2 glasses of champagne, and then your mom, I gave her alcohol too. I was giving everybody alcohol because, like, bitch, make some noise. What the fuck?
But see, it's funny that you say that too, because I seen this clip where a guy was saying that about his family, where the girl was like, "Y'all don't really drink at all." He was like, "Yo, we're around family. Like, we're not supposed to be getting shit faced around family."
That's exactly what you do. That's the most comfortable place to do it, is around family.
I don't.
Some of my I used to sneak bottles of E&J into Thanksgiving because I was the oldest cousin. Like in that sector of cousins, I was the oldest one. Mm-hmm. So I would bring bottles. My dad was like, "I knew you was bringing alcohol." I was like, "Yup, we was in them rooms fucked up." My Thanksgivings, the cousins broke apart. We would all be in a bedroom getting fucked up.
I mean, we had that too, but it was like one of my cousins, the whole basement was pretty much his like apartment.
Yeah.
So that's what we used to have that too, where we'd all go down there and drink and all that other stuff like that. I didn't get
That's why you need to take me home.
Yeah, we'll go there eventually.
Like, it's been too long.
No,
it's been too long.
No, it hasn't been that long. It hasn't been that long.
Okay. So there's one more thing about Thanksgiving that I want to get into. I know this is the longest cold open ever.
I can cut it up, so.
My birthday present.
Which one? Oh, from my mom?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. I love her. And it's always the effort. Let's start with that. That's the foundation of this, right? She got me 2 shirts. She says she got me Chanel shirts. I opened the bag. I said, Ma, Chanel is only spelled with one N. This says channel.
2 channel shirts.
They're 2 channel shirts. And I'm sure, like, I'm 100% sure that she just got them customized off of like a t-shirt place.
She may have ironed them on herself.
Oh,
Like, keeping it a bean. She may have hit the iron herself on them bad boys.
yo, them shits are soft and comfortable as fuck though. So they're like great going to sleep and like walking around the house shirts.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be dripped out in the channel.
And the channel going crazy.
It's
But
not stepping foot outside this house though.
But see, that's the thing about my mom. My mom has always been like lacking the sauce. 'Cause I even showed you, the picture like where she had put like the S curl in my hair.
The Jerry curl.
Yeah, and like my nigga didn't give me no fade, no cut, none like.
Because the light skinned niggas was getting S curls back then.
Yeah,
Like,
but
that
you-
was a regular thing.
Yeah, but she could have hit it up with a fade or something, like some
Nope.
type of like extra sauce on it. It was nothing.
and you already have curly hair, like
Yeah, she just added a little more jazz to it.
it
was hitting.
not necessary.
Don't get me wrong, it was hitting, but if she would have hit it with like a little fade, a temp fade or something, anything. But my mom wasn't like, she had us looking corny. Like my mom was like, oh, as long as the clothes is clean, you kind of fly.
Yeah.
That's,
The clothes are clean and you're fed.
No, that's
And this house is big as fuck.
But see, that's the thing. Whereas like the level of what you've seen house wise and car wise is like, yo, you would think that this lady had a little more sauce. No. That's a hard working lady. No sauce at all. For real. That's a lady who's going to work. You could tell we was lady who went to work kids.
Meanwhile, my mom, I grew up financially immigrants, not the best. We was in basements. People used to walk in, be like, what the fuck? What? It's so nice in here.
Had to have
all
the
of the sauce, all of the drip.
Had to
My
find
mom
it.
is a woman of taste, style, elegance, all that. Like she aesthetically on point.
I mean, I think my mom can do some things here and there. Like sometimes she can get it right, but I mean, a broke clock is right twice a day. So.
Yeah.
So usually though, like I love you, mama, but yeah, your style is like subpar.
Are you tired of paying a lot of money for your vacation? My name is Shirley Proctor, and I am a partner with Tavodian, a traveling membership group. I can help you save time, money, help you and your loved ones see the world.
But you are now listening to Talk FNF TV. I'm your host, Absurd Rhetoric, and I'm with my lovely and amazing and beautiful and a woman who never has to put her hand over her stomach when she takes a picture, Miss Reality.
Hi, guys.
All right, and we are back with another.
Like you be having mad vitriol for the fat woman, but then played the Dave Blunt song like that man is not a bubble bass. Like he's a fat,
Yeah, but
disgusting
those
monster.
those big bag warriors aren't talented like he is. They just big and disruptive.
He's not that talented either.
He's more talented than most people his size.
Okay. We'll see
Literally,
if we can disagree.
literally one top 1% of 700-pound niggas when it comes to doing anything.
Yeah.
So, and it's by a long shot.
I'm taken aback every time I see that man.
Andrew Schulz, man, I didn't think he was going to do this. I didn't think he was going to respond, but he did.
I didn't think he was going to either.
So he came
'Cause
out
it's
with
been a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he came out on Flagrant today. They dropped episodes, started it off early. Like, oh no, we going straight at bruh. We not even running around it. So we'll play the clips of it. But what was your first initial reaction though when you saw that? Were you surprised that he responded?
Yeah, I was surprised that he responded, and then I wasn't surprised that like the angle he took when he responded, like how is a rapper telling me to respect black women when rappers have never respected women in general?
He bodied it.
Like
He bodied it.
Kendrick's music generally has not been like bitch shake that ass, bend over and suck this dick. Like he hasn't made music like that. So if any rapper could tell you to not disrespect black women and keep their names out your motherfucking white ass mouth, then it's him. Definitely.
I think he had a lot of information, factual information show that maybe that's not necessarily the case. But
all right, let's see the exact line, okay? Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law. Now, technically speaking, if we're going off of grammatic English,
because
he's saying
because obviously like there's AAVE and stuff that's involved in the way Kendrick worded that for a white man to be like, well, technically that's not grammatic English, bitch. That's why you need to shut the fuck up and not say anything regarding our culture and us at all. Because that shit just, I was like, okay, you ate that one little bit about, oh, rappers usually disrespect black women. You ate that one little bit. And then I feel like you should have shut the fuck up right then and there. And then that would have been it. But then you trying to be like, oh, but you grammatically, sir, were incorrect in your delivery of that bar. You corny little bitch.
Well,
Go ahead.
To be fair, it is called English, so.
Shut the fuck up.
And don't let no
You're
white
corny
comedian talk
too.
about no black woman.
So he's basically saying all white comedians
Are only allowed to
talk about black women.
exclusively.
That's what I'm talking about, Kendrick.
We're back.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a law.
Finally, he understands
It's
it.
a law.
Now I understand why he's
And
doing
these little
a
bitches
comedy
with their
the South Park
dicks
creators.
tucked. They
He
just
appreciates white comedians that make fun
slim tucks.
What we know, anytime Andrew goes on one of his rants or he's dissing somebody, Akash is going to put the Vaseline on and ride it like a champ.
And then it's that nigga at the end.
Not too much on
Just-
Alex Media.
Just that nigga at the end, coon ass bitch, just sitting there, you barely had anything to say.
black people.
There you go.
And they've done that brilliantly for
my
decades.
Yeah, that's true.
And he would never want to, break one of his own laws.
No, that's true.
I mean, didn't they have a character called Token on the South Park show?
Yeah, they do.
Which I'm sure Kendrick is a big fan
do a
of.
South Park thing.
So during the beef, it was announced that he was going to do a comedy with South Park. And
Comedy with South Park?
A comedy special, yeah, with South Park.
Kendrick was going to do a comedy special?
Yeah, with the writers from South Park. Mm-hmm. He announced it during the beef.
Was he going to be like producing it or something? Like,
Yeah,
how
he's
was
gonna be a
Kendrick?
producer on it.
Okay.
He's gonna be working
Because I'm
with him
like,
to produce the
Kendrick is not funny. Like, he's a lot of things and I enjoy him, but that nigga has never cracked a joke that I laughed at ever other than A minor.
The joke that was going around when that was announced was that, South Park people hate Canadians, and so that's why they teamed up with him to go against Drake.
Oh,
just a joke,
yeah.
That's true.
He must be a big fan if he's
true.
going to do a comedy with them. I mean, we can look that up. Apparently, he has a comedy coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fact.
comedy?
But Al, you're getting groomed right now. We need to ungroom you.
Yeah, you are getting
We need to
groomed.
ungroom you right now.
Okay?
I mean that Blizzard, because he sent people, he says slide on. What he said, slide on, where's the line? Okay. The N-words that coon, the N-words that being groomed, slide on both of them. Whoa, that seems like a call to violence.
It does.
Yeah,
would he
you
call-
coon ass bitches get slid on, and then you ones that groom,
I think it was your boy. These are his
the
boys.
ones that groom predators, slide on them niggas 100%.
Okay. Does that matter when it's R. Kelly and you're trying to protect?
Yeah,
the
no,
music?
slide on R. Kelly.
Oh well, you should tell Kendrick that.
No,
So if he's
I did
about
not like
protecting
that.
black people, why would the
I don't know
call
why
to
the fuck
violence
he did
be
that.
towards the black dudes, not the white guy making the joke?
Well, you gotta understand.
What?
Well, no. You gotta understand.
I snitch. I cooperate. I tell.
Litigation.
Okay? You go squabble up in a jail cell.
Here's what you gotta understand about Ken. It's very
All right, we don't care
important.
about you, Akash. I'm sorry. So another part here that I felt was very interesting, his take on, what he would.
It's kind of funny about it. It's like, first of all, Kendrick's people and the gang affiliate, everybody, his security, they will kill me. They will destroy me. They'll find me in the
Humble.
street. They'll fucking cut me up. They'll shoot me. They'll do whatever. I'm not a tough
Realistic.
guy. Y'all do. But just Kendrick, I would make love to him. And there's nothing he could do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make
You one
love
of
to
them
him.
predators that need
And
to
the
be slid
only
on.
thing that he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's the only thing he could do. If it's me and Kendrick, if it's me and
You
Kendrick,
sitting here next to me giggling
I'm
about
sorry.
a rape
I'm
joke.
sorry. It's not
You're
supposed
sitting
to be
here next to
funny.
me giggling about a rape
I'm
joke.
sorry, it's not supposed
That's
to be
what you're
funny,
doing.
But when it's two
a white
men,
man just threatened to rape a black man,
and when Saucy Santana threatened to rape academics, you were
those were two blacks.
Oh, okay, but you were key.
Those were two blacks.
Okay, it was two men being
the
assaulted.
historical context behind what's his name?
That's
exactly why I'm mad about it.
But there's historical context of making two black men sleep with each other.
I'm
sorry. I know I'm not supposed to laugh
and turn these mics on, and you just disappoint me on a weekly basis.
Hey, I'm sorry that I'm sitting here not supposed to laugh at the SA jokes, but when you're thinking about him manhandling Kendrick, that's funny to me. Especially when you play this tough guy.
He could have been like, one-on-one, I could definitely take you in a fight. Like,
but he was showing
Kendrick
to the degree.
tiny.
He was showing you the degree of which I can take it from you. That's how small you are.
No.
You cannot defend yourself. I can take it from you.
You sitting here laughing.
It's funny when it's two men. I'm
at
sorry.
A white man telling a black man that he is going to rape him.
If there's two men saying that to each other, yes, I'm laughing at that.
Yeah, okay. It's
hilarious. And because for the sole reason because it's two men saying it.
If a white man ever threatened to rape you, is that funny?
You can laugh at it if you want. That'd be kind of like weird because we're married, but I have no allegiance
that's
to
not
either
funny
of these
one
people.
bit.
No, it's weird that you feel like you have to have an allegiance to these people because I don't feel like I have an allegiance to them.
I don't have an allegiance to anybody but black people.
I have an allegiance. I just have to you.
Like,
so I mean, I've stood up for you when someone's made some comments that were similar
yes,
to
and
that.
I'll stand up for you, and then I'll stand up for other black people too.
In this situation,
black people I don't know, black people I know.
In this situation, he's challenging him to like, you're pussy. Like there is a way that he's saying like, hey, he's just responding.
And there's a way
that.
that you can, as a comedian, masterfully cut him down.
So is homophobia not a big part of hip hop community?
Yes, but making a joke threatening to rape somebody is not you tackling homophobia in the black community.
It's you making fun of it.
So why did you just bring it up?
It's just like when Aaron Magruder did the anal rape jokes in jail. He's using it as a way to emasculate Kendrick.
That nigga was taking booties. Like those were
and
not
he's
jokes.
telling you he's telling you. Well, the first episode was about just taking booty. The first time
that's
it happened.
The guy that was like, I like shit and I want shit.
No, that's the second time they made a joke about that.
No, Aaron Magruder is the writer of Boondocks. Okay, I thought you were talking about like that's the actual guy that was saying that.
No.
I was like, no, that nigga was taking butts.
Aaron Magruder made a joke about it where they were just talking about Oz, and that's how Tom got scared.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying it's hilarious.
But again, a black man.
It's okay when it's two guys. Like we can take it. We can take this humor. Did you see Punch responded to that?
No.
Yeah, Punch came on Twitter was like, oh, did Son say he wanted to make love to Kendrick? That's all he was focused on. He didn't talk about none of the other valid, observations that Andrew made regarding his allegiance to nasty men. Also, Kodak Black, some man that you hate.
He needs to. That's a weird thing that Kendrick has been.
But y'all let him get that shit off with my guy. But that's peace.
Drake had mad ammo that he could have taken.
He said this stuff on the Hard Part 6 though, and nobody cared.
No, because then.
Y'all felt like the damage was done already.
He was destroyed.
The bots had already got everything. So
it's not even the bots. It's like in real life.
Andrew, I feel like
you a bitch.
You and us have. I don't mind a lot of your humor. It doesn't bother me as much as like a lot of other people do. So, and I feel like part of their show is about challenging other men's masculinity with their commentary.
Be funnier.
That's vague. I just feel like what he did was he got the
Be
job
funnier.
done.
At first,
he has the white humor card, and white humor allows you to joke like that.
He started with rappers aren't respectful to women, and then he went to and you didn't even say that right, and then he ended with and then I'm gonna rape you, and that was it.
Is that not a white man in and of itself? Isn't that the epitome of a white man in this country? I'm going to call you a barbarian and then say I'm gonna put my penis in you.
Corny.
I'm just saying it tracks.
And then you
all I'm saying is it tracks. It was funny.
No, it wasn't.
It was funny.
No, it wasn't.
It was funny. Just like when I watched Snowfall and they called the nigga in to do the big dick Lester shit. That shit was funny. When they did that shit on Godfather of Harlem, when they sent the nigga in to put dick on the man to emasculate him, shit was funny.
It's never funny. Let's move on.
I'm just saying, like it's not funny when it happens to women. It's funny when it happens to men. Sorry,
no, it's not.
It can't. Yes, it is. It can be. It can be humor in that. All right, let's get into pod wise. So Joe Budden on the Joe Budden podcast released on his Patreon, about 25 minutes on his YouTube as well, of a new series that he's bringing out called Pod Wives. To begin with, the optics of that already is bad. Because why are you calling it Pod Wives and the spokesperson, the face of the network, is up there and the woman he's with is not his wife? And he's a black man. So you got 2 white guys married and 1 black guy not married talking about Pod Wives. That's just a bad image already. You're already making us look bad, Joe. And then you kind of go into the episode. And what was kind of like something that you just, because you only saw the 25-minute clip, right?
Yeah, I didn't watch too much of it.
And that was kind of edited. You can see it was kind of heavily edited. It cut it around. One of the things that was, it didn't seem like it was making a lot of rounds about it, was they were talking about Joe and maybe some of the oversharing that he does on the show. Some of the jokes that he may make. And one of the comments was in relation to like an abortion that happened.
Yeah.
Where he said, I feel like he said 2 jokes, but one was like, you know, we can keep the next one. Like that was like one of the little comments that was said. And another one was like, where she trying to, you the one that she don't want to not have the abortion for. Is like, why it got to be me type conversation. Like, so I could see where he was violating.
Yeah, because she already got 3 kids.
But my thing is like, when they got together, I know they probably known each other for a while, but when they got together, he was already on his rise up and his trajectory up. Do you feel as though that's something she kind of just has to accept? Because I think she had a problem with the oversharing because of just the nature of the show and how fans respond and things like that. Do you think that's something like she can't really come in? Because to me, that's why I kind of feel like that's not something you can come in and try to change how he's expressed his life through his podcast.
I think she seems to be very agreeable and malleable from like the little bit of interview that I did see. So I don't think anything is gonna deter her fully from being in that relationship, regardless of if he does overshare or not.
I mean, it's very clear that she wants to be there, like just with some of the stuff that she was saying.
Yeah.
But I just think she's in a position where you kind of just have to accept what comes with it.
She's going to accept a lot.
Yeah, but
it seems like.
It seems like, though, it's not going to be an easy acceptance if you kind of push back. Because with Joe is not going to be somebody who's going to keep it real with you. Like, he's not going to say, hey, I'm up, I got the money, I create the lifestyle, you have to accept my behaviors. He's going to kind of like placate you a little bit. He's going to try to be like, oh, okay, well, I want to see your point of view. And he really doesn't care about it, but he's going to act like he cares about your point of view.
It'd be much better if he just straight up just acted like he didn't care about it, if that's if that's how he actually feels.
Yeah, I mean, but it's kind of tough to do that because you don't get the response that you want when you attack a situation like that. Like, you have to, I mean, you would leave at the beginning.
But she's not.
You're in too
nowhere.
deep now.
Yeah.
He's literally has a control, not control, but he's funding a lot of your lifestyle now.
Yeah,
so,
that also came up. She doesn't work.
Yeah,
and she said she likes being just a mom and a girlfriend.
And that kind of comes with what kind of has to happen with that, because we were talking about on the space in regards to this and asking the question like, is Joe going to get married to her? Even though they talk about,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Like, because I'm asking the question like, what leverage does he have? Like, what leverage does she have for him to marry her? One would be what happened. The situation that got terminated.
Oh, yeah,
that would have been
yeah.
the leverage that she would have needed.
I don't think Joe's gonna get married to anybody. He hasn't been married ever, right? Yeah, that's just not something. And then when he talked about, like, he made a comment like, oh, if wedding costs and if one were to happen, like, he doesn't give me somebody who's like, who thinks that that's a goal or an accomplishment.
I don't think that once you get to a certain point, like financially wise, and you've done that as a single man, you only come to lose that once you bring another woman in there and then you marry her. Like, if they just do like a ceremonial,
you have a prenup.
Even with the prenups, y'all are good at saying I was under duress. You're a woman. You can say that about anything. Oh, he put me under duress. He stressed me. All of this XYZ, and now the prenup is thrown out. So a prenup doesn't matter. The point of him giving her that kind of access to him, he loses all his power in the relationship now, because now she can cripple him more so than it is him being able to use his resources to, I guess you could say, over her head. Which, I mean, the thing is this, man. You can't trust dog people. Like, that's really what it comes down to.
Oh, no, that's not even what I was thinking about. I genuinely think that, like, there's so many fucking convoluted hoops that you had to jump through to get to this opinion.
It's not.
And then I also think that you just like saying shit that is salacious.
I don't think that's salacious.
So you saying that dog people are the worst people, like...
They are, man. They are the worst people to date. Anytime
a
I've ever
horrible
dated a
take.
girl with a dog, she was probably one of the most selfish women I've ever been around. Because she wanted to treat me like she treated a dog. She was mad at something, she wanted to yell, and then come back 20 minutes later. Come here, babe. No, don't get away from me. I'm not the fucking dog. You don't get to just talk to me any kind of way, and then I'm back licking on your face. No. You treat me like a person.
He's just projecting, y'all.
I'm not projecting. I'm telling you my truths.
It's a terrible take filled with projection.
Dog people are the worst people, and you see that with Joe. They want to be able to do what they want. And to a degree, I'm not upset with him because he's created a lifestyle that can happen in, that can exist in. So, I mean, I can't be mad at it in regards to that. So
Yeah, that was doo-doo.
What do you take from it then? What is your take from their relationship then?
My take from their relationship is Joe found him somebody who will shape herself to whatever he needs her to fit in, and that's exactly what Joe needs.
Are you trying to say that's his jazz? He's Cam Newton and that's
Yeah.
his jazz? That's sick.
It was the comment that was like, oh, if I have to work 2-3 jobs, then I'm gonna do that because this is where I want to be.
But see, this is why I say like women
are you really with Joe Budden because you like his personality? Like, I don't believe you. That might be why I think she's lying, because I don't think that somebody is like willingly with him without any perks. Like, that seems like fucking hell.
I think she just said
to
it
want to go through.
I think she just said it just so she could say it. But to stay on that
Yeah.
point, I think that's a good point that you put. I think it really showed like how women like are just really narcissistic when it comes to stuff like that. Because it's just funny to me when I think about it in context, and you just take a step back, and it's like they're willing to work how much they have to work for them to not have to have a job. But then if the ability was flipped, would you do that for them? And you see where so much hesitance. Oh, you gotta work too, or you gotta get back on your feet. Like it's always no, we have to get back to you being the provider, me being on the other side. But the idea of me being a provider to you, even if it's not even off.
That is the only reason you put up with a man.
See, that's the issue. That's the issue right there.
I've said this over and over and over again. Men deserve less. Men are the fucking worst. I don't like dealing with men in general. If y'all didn't provide protection, like some type of foundation and all of that, like we would be buying houses with our girlfriends and having like communes of women.
Y'all cannot do that. Y'all hate that. Every time those communes come up, they always end horribly.
Do you know how many old hoes in New York is living together in brownstones happily?
And ask them how many times have they had to do that before they was just too old to not be able to keep moving around with people. How many groups of people they had to do that with?
Yeah, they usually like in their 40s.
Yeah, they then switched around. This and happened multiple times. They didn't fell out
They
with
all
groups
be
of people.
happy as fuck.
No, I just think it's just telling where one sex is okay with the other person not having to contribute in a financial way, and it's very telling when the other sex is put in that position, even if it's no sweat. Like, just think about it. If it was no sweat off your brow, you do something even easier that you do right now, but you could supply everything in the house. No problem. Everything you want, everything I want.
Why are you here?
Again, look at that. But if I was to say the opposite, if I was to say I'm controlling everything, I say everything that you do.
Well, no, it would have to flip to something that makes sense for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. Well, you're more, domesticated than most women of your age group. But most women would have an issue with you being like having to be the main person cleaning up and cooking around the house. Like even Park's wife said that. That was the main reason why they work so well is because she doesn't have to be domesticated. And that's another reason why she wanted to work was because of that as well, to validate her not being as domesticated. I think that's another thing to speak about too.
And she said she actually like
But
loves
she's
her
a teacher,
job.
so I mean that's understandable why she can
Yeah.
love that job, especially if she's working around a lot of kids that she like.
Girl, you bringing in pennies.
Compared to probably what you bring in.
Like pennies.
But I think that's also interesting because she brought up a point that I feel like a lot of women don't address, and they wonder why you get part of a man when you're also only giving part to him. So like most of the time when you hear women talk about their careers and ambitions, they're not because they get pleasure from it, not because they get like status or anything from it. It's because it's a layer of protection from whatever the man might do to them.
Yeah.
So but you don't
Because
see that.
there was a whole generation that we watched get fucked because they couldn't
Y'all
have
didn't watch
their
it.
own.
They told y'all that it happened.
They couldn't have their own bank accounts and stuff like that. And then after you got divorced, like if you did get divorced, like that was it. Like
But
you were
Can you see though?
an outcast.
You can see though why it would be tough if you're not giving all of you in a situation that you're going to get all of somebody else. Where you're operating.
Like, what do you mean?
You're operating with this barrier that I'm doing this work. I'm putting my effort and energy into this work, not because I care about the work being done, because I want a protection from my partner. You don't see how problematic that is? That doesn't come up problematic in your head at all?
That's the same thing you could say about prenups.
No, I disagree. Because a prenup is.
Oh my fucking God.
Can we talk? Can we just have a conversation?
No, we cannot, because you're saying garbage nonsense out of your mouth. Me having a job just to make sure that I'm not homeless if you decide to leave me, is it the same layer of protection as having a prenup so I don't leave you with nothing if I decide to leave you?
No, a prenup
I'm about to get the fuck up and walk away right now.
No, you're going to sit here and listen. A prenup is a plan on how to deviate the funds once the business, which is the marriage, dissolves. You having funds is saying, I'm conducting this relationship as if something can go wrong or something will go wrong. And so then I become a self-fulfilling prophecy in the downfall of my relationship.
That's what a prenup is.
No, it's not. Because a prenup doesn't only come into effect once we've decided we're going to do a divorce. And it just shows how we're going to, disseminate our resources
It
between
falls
each other.
under the same category
No, it
of things.
doesn't.
If you only have a job so that you have some type of protection, then it's the same. It falls within the same
So you don't think
umbrella
that's-
of things.
So you don't think that's a level of mistrust in a relationship?
Yes, both of them are.
Yeah, but if that's the case, that's what my thing
That's
is.
what I'm saying. If that's the only reason you have a job, if you have a job just because people work and that's a normal thing and you have to pay bills, or you have a job because you're passionate about it, that's a different thing. But if you don't have to work and like your husband can provide everything for you and you're working only because you don't trust that he would take care of you if y'all were decide to split, of course that's a huge,
But that's what
like,
she was saying.
mistrust.
And that's what I'm saying. That she said that in the conversation.
But
and it was
I'm
never,
just saying
it
that
wasn't
prenups
spoke
are the
about.
same level.
I
They
don't- I
fall
just
under
disagree.
the same umbrella of like mistrust in relationships. Maybe
I disagree. I think
they fall under the same umbrella of potential mistrust. That's what I'll say.
No, I don't necessarily think, because I don't think us getting a divorce is inherent from mistrust. Like there could be a lot of
Is
things.
the prenup in
prenup could be-
general not planning for
What if-
what we'll do if there is a divorce?
Yes, but the divorce isn't inherent means that there's mistrust. We can have a divorce because you get
having a job
Listen.
isn't inherent that we're gonna split up.
But when
it's
you
just
ask-
in case, just like the prenup.
No, it's not just in case. You're doing it. You're creating a layer of protection for if this relationship falls. This one is not creating a layer of protection. It's saying how we're going to disseminate assets if the company, which is our marriage, disseminates.
We'll agree to disagree.
I just feel like you're missing the bigger point of it. That's all. I think that it's when one is you're actively doing something in the relationship day to day that is putting up a wall in your relationship. One of them is just, if we walk through this door, this is where it's going to take us. I think there's just a total difference from that. And I think that it doesn't get spoken about enough when we have conversations about that, because you wonder why.
And I don't think a lot of women. I don't think it gets spoken about because it's not something that's happening that often. It's not a lot of women whose husbands can 100% take care of them, and they decide to work because they're not comfortable with what'll happen after if their husbands decide to stop taking care of them.
I think if you
that's
look-
probably like the tiniest amount of
I think
marriages.
As somebody who's lived amongst those people, you see that a lot of times. Those women work because they want to have a layer of protection for if their husband chooses to quote unquote do something. It's
In this economy,
I'm just talking about what I've seen in women of that ilk and that economics. It's very rare that they're doing it because they have a passion for it. They're doing it because they want a level of protection.
I feel like women of that economic status be having jobs because they be bored and they need something to do.
Even then, those jobs don't really make the funds that could protect them. Those just be like nail money, stuff like that, just stuff they don't have to immediately ask their husband for. But again, a lot of that time it's just them saving up a checks over and over. That's what even Ian said on there, where he said his wife was saving checks up from her job that she would then use for whatever she may need or something happens.
Yeah, and she was like, "That's money for us."
No, she said that money was for her.
She didn't. She said that money was for them. No,
the money that was for them was the wedding money they put together.
Okay,
because you remember, even then, Park's wife said the craziest thing, where he says it's our money, and then she says, "I don't look at it like that. I look at it as my money and your money." To me, that's also a crazy red flag to me, because if you're not looking ourselves as together in one, like again, it just feels like we're at odds in a way that if I don't adhere to, or one of us doesn't adhere to how the other wants the relationship to go, is going to be problematic because we aren't aligned. That's what it felt like to me. I thought that was odd that none of them except Ian had the joint bank account at any point in their relationship.
Mm-hmm. And they still have separate bank accounts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it just seems like I get it, especially if Ian's wife comes from like an affluent family, which I don't think she said she did. I think she said money was really tight for them. Mm-hmm. So I guess that could also be another reason too why there may be a lot of guards that she has. She did say
she has like trauma over like
money and
finances and how to manage money and stuff like that.
So no, I think that when you get to that, if y'all aren't able to fall into the money together like that, I think for at least normal people, when you don't have as much money as they're making, I think it's gonna be a real pitfall, because y'all got to understand y'all in it together. Like, they can do that because their partner is one of those making an exorbitant amount more money than the other one. Mm-hmm. So, but I think it was a good episode. I think they should keep doing it. What do you think? You think other cast members should come on?
No.
You don't think Melissa Ford with a dude up there would be cool?
Probably, but is she not single?
No, she was that she was talking to the dude who was on Chicago PD.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
He a younger dude, like 35.
Okay. So. Yeah, but I don't think they should continue this.
It's too messy.
I don't think it's interesting enough.
Okay.
Like, I think like the whole, maybe have this be like a mini series, like 3 episodes max, but I don't see this like growing legs and like becoming a thing.
Yeah. To me, if you're going to be waking up stuff like how Joe and them was waking up talking about like their dynamics with the strippers and
that was interesting, talking
about them and the what was going on with their the abortion.
The way Joe dances around stuff is interesting too. Like seeing him do that, I don't like it. One thing I will say too, when it comes to that the abortion comment that was made, I think she's I know how she feels where you're making light of a situation like that. But she got to understand that as the consumer, when he says something like that, we can throw it away and put it as just a joke. But when you come and actually confirm it, you kind of change a lot of it's like looking at something with a different perspective now. Mm-hmm. And I think she kind of has to be aware of that. Nobody really thought he was being serious for real, right? I don't think nobody took it that serious. But like, even though it's real, you got to understand that the audience don't know it's real. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, you kind of aren't being fair to the relationship. Because she really made him look an asshole. Like, even though we all agree that he is. No, but like, you don't need to make Joe Budden look like an asshole. Yeah, but I mean, she made it look bad. And then you got to put it in the context, like, y'all aren't a young couple. Y'all aren't in y'all 20s having, who knows if she'll be able to get pregnant again. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to put that on. I'm just saying. How old is she? She's 38. They've been together for like 5 years. So, I mean, like, yeah, that's why it just looks weird when it's like you telling people at your big age, you didn't doing this for this man who's a multimillionaire. Like, what are you doing? Like, baby girl, that was the moneymaker. You can't get rid of the moneymaker. But again, she values being next to him over like a lot of making smart decisions
I mean,
I think that like she prioritizes not over like being a mother and stuff like that. I'm not saying that, but I think like generally like she's gonna do what he asks, because if I don't get this abortion, then maybe I'll get the child support, but then like I'll just have 4 kids and still now I'm a single mother again.
I think like she has this thing where maybe she has this fear that like Joe would leave her high and dry. I don't see him doing that. I can see like if he found somebody and he just knew he wanted to be with somebody else, he wouldn't leave her high. He was like, hey, I'm gonna break you off for the rest of the year. We'll make sure your rent paid off for the next, if it happened right now, the next 6 months. Make
6
sure.
months is ridiculous if that's the mother of your child. You need to buy her a house.
But she's not his mother's child.
Well, that's if she was.
No, I'm talking about right now.
Okay, I
that's
thought you
her
were
fear
saying
now.
leave her high and dry if she kept the baby and didn't get the
I
abortion.
think right now she feels as though if he was to leave her high and dry.
Oh yeah, baby girl, you fucked.
I don't
You
think
should've
Joe would
kept
be
the
like
baby.
that though. I don't think Joe would be like that. I think Joe would break her off enough money to be like, you gonna be straight for 6-7 months.
Yeah,
And then you get back
he
on your
used
feet.
a trick. So
And then that's what I was. To me, that would be fly.
I was a little bit uncomfortable with the strip club conversation, just a little bit, because like she's obviously right in her concerns and everything. She's like, nigga, at your big age, you going to the strip club 3 days a week in a row. She was like, that's not good for you to be going to the same one 3 days a week in a row, because nobody should know where you are that consistently. Like, you shouldn't have that consistent of a schedule for niggas to run up on you. And then everyone was like,
I mean, yeah, but
like,
again, that comes with the idea, and then we can just wrap it up here for that. But it just comes with the idea of you understand Joe is going to show you patterns. He's not going to tell you with his words. He's going to show you patterns. Once you identify the patterns, it's on you to make that decision. Like, you can't sit here and be like, oh, Joe has shown you who he is, and you either accept it and get to enjoy the lifestyle, or you go home.
that's why I call back to what I said earlier. There's no way she's just there for his fucking personality. That nigga is horrible. Like, from all of the reality TV and everything that we've seen, like, he's manipulative. He dances around shit. He moves the goalpost. He did it when they were having the conversation about the stripper who took a picture of his coffee or whatever, and then he was like, she said that like she found it weird that she posted the picture, and then Joe was like, and she said that you should have like said something to her, like, just like, this is some weird shit. And Joe was like, I don't see it that way. And then everyone went in a circle and basically agreed to her. And then he was like, by the way, I do agree with y'all. And like, that's not how you made it seem in the beginning. At all.
We talked about this. He was saying he agrees with a stripper shouldn't be exposing your location. He wasn't not saying he agrees with having the type of relationship he has with the strippers and bartenders.
No, but everyone was talking about the picture.
Yeah, no, at the when he was saying he didn't.
I don't think the context that you were getting out of it was the correct context.
It was. What he was saying was what he said he didn't agree with them was saying with them saying he's not cool with going out with the strippers, taking them out to dinner and stuff. He was like, I think that's fly. I don't agree with that. But he's saying I agree with the strippers shouldn't be exposing my location.
He literally was combative when she first started talking about it and was like, no, I don't agree with you. And then everyone else agreed with her. And then he was like, I agree with y'all. That's exactly what happened.
But you're missing the
and
context.
Joe does that all the time,
I'm
too.
not saying, you know that. I know he's the gaslight Gretzky.
Like,
but this situation, he wasn't doing that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he does that so much that, like, I can't imagine that, like, a smart woman would just want to be with that man on purpose if he didn't have all the sauce and all the money and all the clout.
Yeah, he definitely couldn't be with an Ebby Williams. She would eat that nigga up.
That's not who I was talking about whatsoever. But
I'm just saying, Joe couldn't be with a girl like that.
She would eat him the fuck up.
Joe couldn't be with a girl. Joe wants to be with a girl that he feels as though, like you call malleable and things.
And then when they were talking about the strip club stuff, was that when Joe had his hand like on her thigh, and then he had his thumb like on the inside of her knee?
Yeah.
So that like it looked like if he needed to like grab her and tell her to shut the fuck up, really like subtly.
He did have the claw sitting there. Like he had like his hand in the claw formation. I saw that.
Yeah, it was there for a couple minutes, and then when they stopped talking about it, he like relaxed a little bit and took his arm off. Also, when Joe is gaslighting women, he sits crisscross applesauce.
That's the move though. That's the best way to do it. Like you
He
come
did
off
it on Love and Hip Hop
non-threatening.
with Sin in the like park when he was sitting on that little thingy, and he's doing it in this special. Like I see you, and I'm reading you.
Hey man, I can't. Hey, it used to be back in my days, man. Getting ready in that crisscross applesauce to talk. That used to be the move. I used to get
In
it done.
kindergarten?
No, college. Like after college, a little bit after college. I used to get it done. You be in this non-defensive, you know what I'm saying? I'm not being aggressive in any kind of stance, and they just hate you the entire time.
Listen, I would always be sitting crisscross applesauce on my bed with the nigga sitting on the table.
Don't tell me about what you was doing with
On the
niggas.
table in front of the computer, like that work area, and then my bed was always on the high thing, so I always had the high ground.
See, that's what you
Look up at me.
You was dealing with suckers back then. Now you got a real one.
Listen, I was a menace.
All right, so we got to get into Tyla, our girl. She's taking over. I think we got our superstar. We might need to make this like a Tyla podcast.
We don't need to do that, but we both enjoy her.
So shout out to Tyla for surpassing Beyonce this year for the most streams to Spotify. That's a big deal. Like I don't think people are like evaluating this like the way it should be. Like she is a relatively new act.
She is.
And
she dropped her first like debut album this year.
And not only,
and it was a really good album.
It was good. And her visuals were dope. Like not only did she surpass Beyonce, she did about like 100 million. Like 100 million more streams.
I do want to add the caveat that Beyonce fucking released a country album this year. And even a Beyonce fan like me, I didn't even think about hitting play on that shit, honestly. Like I didn't listen to a whole minute of that album, and I don't plan to till this day.
That's crazy hate. That's crazy hate.
I don't like country. I didn't it's not for me. That album was not for me whatsoever. So I'm sure there are a lot of Beyonce fans that felt the same way and just didn't fucking listen to it. Very casual fans like I am.
Yeah, they said that she got 1.565 billion streams, Tyla, and Beyonce had 1.64 billion streams. So it was literally that close. But for her to be like considered the most streamed album by a black female artist in Spotify in 2004, like that's dope.
2024.
Yeah, 2024.
Yeah, that's lit for Tyla, and she has. First of all, she makes African music. Africa is big as fuck. Like there's people here listening to her. There's people in different countries all over the world listening to her too. She has a very like Amapiano is music that's popular all over the world now. So that doesn't surprise me not one bit. And she's cute and tiny.
She's on her Rihanna run.
That's what I was gonna say. I think we're seeing our next like Rihanna-ish figure come about.
I don't think she's ever going to be as close to the people reception wise the way that superstars have been in the past. But when it comes to production, I think because of how these numbers operate and the fact that like she just does fit like the perfect feminine like individual ideology, aesthetic, whatever you want to put there. Like she fits that. And I think that's why a lot of girls don't like her. Like I notice a lot of the big back ends be getting upset with Tyla. And I think it's because she does something similar to Nara Smith in regards to being in a physical embodiment of femininity that they cannot reach. And I think that's why they hate on Tyla so much.
I think they be hating on her because her waist is mad tiny.
You realize we just said the same thing, right?
Yeah, but you sound like a fucking dick bag when
How
you
is that
say
a dick
it.
bag?
Like a feminine ideology that they can't touch. No, it sounds a
No, I
little
said a
bit better
feminine
when
aesthetic they couldn't
aesthetic,
reach.
whatever. You know, you sound like a pretentious dick bag, and I just sound like a regular asshole.
I think I said it way flyer.
You said it more pretentiously. Y'all mad because she got a tiny little waist, and y'all could never be like that.
But it's not even just the waist, it's the eyes. She got big eyes. Like you got big eyes. Like that's a very cute, attracting thing. Like having the eyes like that. The way that her waist is shaped and formed. Like she's
so tiny.
The pinnacle of,
and then she has like little abs.
Yeah, she's the pinnacle of female physical beauty at this point right now. And I don't see where any of her falling off at any point. They did play her with the Grammys. We didn't talk about that. You know, she didn't get no nods for the Grammys.
Well, she got like a R&B nomination, right?
No, she got no. Her and Tommy Richmond.
So was her album too late to be nominated for a Grammy?
We talked about. Remember, we had a whole clip where we talked about they were trying to get her into R&B, and we said she was trying to steal R&B,
okay, yeah.
and she didn't get into any of it.
Yeah, and I think Tommy is not good enough yet. So
No, but that song should have been nominated.
I like $1 Million Baby, but like
$1 Million Baby should have been nominated.
I think maybe on your next album you got it, and then I think you probably rubbed people the wrong way, and people in the Academy, the Grammy Academy too, when you were like, I'm not a hip hop artist. Like,
I don't think they cared about that. I just think that there wasn't enough money behind it at the end of the day. That's usually what it always is. So there was also more lists that came out because
yes, Doja Cat.
Well, Spotify. I was going to get into the Billboard list first.
Okay.
So
I just want to talk about Doja.
We can get into that. Just the Billboard list that came out was the greatest pop stars of the 21st century. So I'll do the top. I'll just do top 25.
No.
It's on their names. It's not like I'm reading a fucking paragraph.
We don't care about the top 25. Do the top 10. Nobody cares about what's after the 10.
Well, I'll say this. Katy Perry was number 25. You know,
nobody gives a fuck.
I do. I'm a Katy Perry stan account. What are you talking about?
Like top 10. Come on.
Adele, Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, Kanye West, Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, Drake, Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Beyonce.
Okay.
This is wrong. It's definitely Britney Spears. Britney Spears has outsold Beyonce on everything.
Britney Spears is a crack whore now.
And the pinnacle of her pop run is cemented. Every girl that's doing a pop run right now is emulating Britney's.
So you're right, but like it's done now.
What's done now?
Britney's career.
Yeah, but when she's talking about her being in the 21st century, we're not talking about like what she's doing right now.
I don't think she dominated enough of the 21st century.
What? I mean, of course, none of they have. We're only 25. We're not even 50 years into the 21st century, so that's why we only can go by the.
Well, I don't think
we're only a quarter in.
Britney, unfortunately, had too much shit going on around her.
But her highs were really high. Like
they
that's
were, yeah, they were.
Her high was like quadruple some of Beyonce's highs. Like, don't get me wrong, Beyonce was very consistent and she did make a lot of marks and numbers, but Britney Spears, like, come on. When it comes to being a pop girly, she wrote the book on it.
I think Janet Jackson did that.
I'm not saying that she didn't, but Janet's not even on this list anywhere.
Yeah, of course she's not.
Janet's not on this list at all.
And Janet still be making music and performing and stuff too. If Britney's gonna be in the top 10, then I think Janet's not even in the top 25, is she?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, if this was a list made by the blacks, she would be in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on Janet Jackson. She probably should definitely be top 30 for sure.
Yeah.
Top 35. Some of these acts have had way bigger runs because Janet had moments, but the run that a lot of these had, I don't think Janet
I'm glad
had.
Lady Gaga was on there because Lady Gaga has been serving cunt for a decade.
But she's over Britney.
For like over decades.
Like, y'all disrespecting Britney. I know she crazy and she talking about, I read somewhere they said that she trying to be a 5-year-old and all that shit.
She said she's in kindergarten.
I told y'all Nick Jamie was right. But the motherfucker should be number one.
I don't think she should be number one.
Two things can be true. Jamie was right. Britney number one.
Nobody in 2024 is having a conversation that Britney Spears is number one.
But that's because we not remembering history the way
other
it should
than
be.
like shaking them little chicken cutlets on the internet.
But see, that's because of Plies that we remember that now. She was out there. She told us, "Oops, I did it again." She did.
I was in Haiti singing that song.
Come on now, going crazy in the land that murdered white people. You was singing that blonde hair, blue eyed devil's music. Wake it up.
I had no idea what she looked like.
You thought she was Haitian too?
No, I knew she wasn't. First of all, I wasn't even speaking English words. I used to just make up gibberish that sounded like the words. Mm-hmm. Whenever I sang along to American songs, I thought I knew the full lyrics.
Oh, you was getting busy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's so interesting too around this time when like everybody starts posting like all they Spotify wrap ups because I don't. Listen
I posted
to
mine today. Yeah, That's why
but you don't listen to Spotify. You listen to Apple.
Yes, Apple has a replay.
I didn't say they didn't have a rap. I'm just saying I was talking about Spotify and you brought up Apple.
Yeah, you said you don't have one, and I was agreeing because you're not a connoisseur of music
But I listen to-
whatsoever. You are a weird ass big dick nigga who don't have any music subscription services.
I have YouTube.
You barely listen to music. This nigga listened to people on Twitter yelling at each other more than he listens to music. You weirdo.
Them niggas be
You're
funny.
fucking weird.
These niggas be funny.
So let's talk about my top artists. Do you want to guess who was number one?
I saw you posted today, so I know what everything is you did.
Do you remember who number one was?
Smino was
No,
two, right?
Smino's not even on the list. It was nowhere on that list was Smino.
Okay,
Smino
I
didn't
didn't
even
see it.
drop an
I
album this month.
It's fucking noise. It's like Remy or something like that. Start with an R. Who's the
Rema.
first? Rema. Okay, I knew
He's
it.
an African artist.
Some
two
click,
is- two
click,
is-
click girls.
2 is K Tronada, 3 is Schoolboy Q, 4 is Kendrick Lamar, 5 is Sexy Red. Where did that come from? But that's very indicative of my personality. The songs were Red Potion by Rema was number 1, and then immediately after is Get It Sexy by Sexy Red. And then 3 is another Sexy Red song, Looking for the Hoes. I'm looking for the hoes. I did play the shit out of that song. I used to take everything showers, candle lit, with the lights off, and instead of playing Erykah Badu, I was playing Sexy Red.
Y'all be so obsessed about what y'all little music y'all spin every year.
I just think my list is like a very accurate representation of my personality.
Is it?
Yeah. Rema, African music. K Tronada, house music. Schoolboy Q and Kendrick,
None of them is Haitian.
TDE. And then Sexy Red, shaking ass, whole music. Love it.
So, well, let's get into the actual bigger picture numbers. So Spotify also dropped their top, looks like, well, I have a top 11, their most streamed rappers. So it's number 11 was Tyler, the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, you won't even guess who this is. XXXTentacion. Still.
Oh, wow.
In 2024.
He would have really, he would have been the voice of that generation right
100%.
now. Him or Juice WRLD?
Playboy Cardi. 21
Boo.
Savage.
Okay.
Metro Boomin.
Yes.
Future.
Yes.
Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
Eminem.
Oh.
Kanye West.
Oh.
Travis Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sixth God.
Well, yeah.
Drizzy. Put some
You
respect
have to say
on
his name that loud. You
I
always
did.
glazing that nigga.
You always glazing Kendrick.
I'm not always
Yeah, you
glazing
are.
Kendrick.
That's all you doing. Kendrick. When he do the wop, 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 you glaze, 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 glaze.
You did that really well from all the glazing you be doing
No,
to
I'm
Drake.
never glazed in my life.
You
I'll
did
just
that.
keep it-
That
I
that
just
was
keep it. I just keep
that
it
was a
real.
great sound
I
effect,
just
was
keep
it not?
real to niggas. All right, we had a crazy murder in Midtown.
Mm-hmm.
CEO murder. Everyone thinks it's so. Apparently, this guy, his name was Brian Thomas. I think that's his name, or Thompson, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure I get this name right because he is dead. And he was shot in New York this morning. It's like 7 a.m. this morning.
It was like 6:30, mad early.
CEO of United Healthcare. So I just want to be clear too, because everybody kept trying to say like he was like the big CEO. He's not the big CEO. He's a CEO within the umbrella of a bigger company. So what happened was he got shot out front during an investor meeting that was going on in the hotel he was shot in front of. The investor meeting was going on during it, right? They didn't know it happened. So the way it gets reported, he gets shot and they continue on with the investor meeting. In the investor meeting, Andrew Whitty, the chairman, CEO of everything, says, when times get tough, the tough keep going. So it's being reported like they're just cool with everything that's going on. The investor meeting's going on like normal, when in all actuality, they probably weren't aware that he had got shot. And when they were brought to their attention, they did in the investor meeting. But a lot of people, man, it's interesting to see where the human brain is at this time in our like society. Mm-hmm. Because like I'm listening to people like talk about this, and even Ian Dunlap, he came into our space this morning. We were talking about this, and Ian comes in and says, "Oh, I just want y'all to know this is an inside job. It's going to come out in like 3 or 4 weeks, and y'all going to hear about this. Things are getting crazy."
The shooter had a silencer.
I mean, well, I don't know. I didn't verify.
Yeah, in the picture, there was an article that said the shooter had a silencer on the gun.
I'll get into that though. I want to say this though, but about Ian Dunlap. So Ian says that, right? So I think to myself, he sound like he capping. Like he sound like he just saying whatever. So I go to, you remember what happened in last year in April when that CEO got stabbed in San Francisco? So I went in and I found his tweets from that day and when it happened. And he was like, oh, the Cash App founders passed away. Things are about to get scary. I'm like, all right, this nigga Ian just be saying shit. This nigga just be trying to say shit to try to scare niggas or act like he in the loop. But no, I just think it's just so funny to where our brains go with this. Because again, I don't know if that was a silence on there. You may have heard somebody that's already
there was a picture.
That.
They have video surveillance of the gunman, and there's a full silencer on the gun.
Again, to get a silencer, you don't really have to be a hitman to do that.
You don't, but like,
I will say this.
That's not a thing that people generally have, especially in New York because the gun laws are so strict.
I will say, well, he doesn't have to come from New York. This was an investor meeting they knew was going to be there.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be in. You just travel from another state. This is where I'm gonna say this. I know it sounds cool to think of the logistics of being another CEO or somebody internally wanting to take this man out. But y'all got to understand, he was a CEO of a health insurance company. Mm-hmm. One of the health insurance companies that had some of the most denial. It had like one of the highest percentages of denials for coverage.
Yeah, all of the comments were like, like their coverage doesn't cost them giving a fuck about him dying.
Yeah, so like what people don't understand is it's very likely that this was someone whose coverage was denied or family
like
member.
A disgruntled.
Yeah, a person who was disgruntled about coverage being denied or being treated a particular way by this company and knew that they were going to be here and I'm going to take an opportunity to take out one of their CEOs.
If that's the case, I hope he gets away.
I think that's more likely. Or I have another thought. It could be a scorned gay lover.
Okay.
He could have been upset, knew that he was coming out there to see him. He sees him.
Where does the homosexuality come into
Did you see
play?
his picture?
No, I didn't.
Look at Brian. Brian looks a little sweet.
Okay, let me look at Brian because I'm like, why are we putting?
Brian could potentially be a power bottom.
Y'all know I like putting homosexuality on niggas' jackets, but like,
I'm down. Hey, to me, like people were talking to me about this and like they were saying, oh, you need to respect the dead and all. No, I don't. I don't have to respect the dead. This nigga was a CEO in America. That means more than likely he's promoting a status quo that keeps you, me, and everyone else in this planet or in this country oppressed.
You know what? Sometimes I be like, is he gay or is he just a white man?
We've already had that discussion before already too on this show.
Like, you know, like
high threshold.
He could be gay, but he could also just be a white man.
Nah, Brian looked like he was bending over. Brian was definitely doing the bending. You can tell. Brian was bending it up. But no, that was my thought. Like to me, I just thought we just live in such a hyper fantasized world where we just want to assume where like everything is going on is like an episode of Scandal. Now, granted, when you watch the video, the nigga was catching the fucking shells. Like if you see him when he's shooting the gun.
He shot like 6 times.
But he's catching the shells when he's doing it.
Oh, he's catching the shells?
It looks like he's doing like he's shooting the gun and then moving the shell.
But can you control like depending on I don't know nothing.
They
about
don't necessarily
guns.
pop out. I mean, it depends on the type of gun.
Like when I went to the shoot, they was popping out.
Yeah, it depends on the type of gun.
One of them almost hit my arm. I was like, ah.
It depends on the type of gun you have and how you shooting. Like you could potentially do that. That's what it looked like he was doing. Where like he would shoot and then pull it back and then shoot again, so that he kept the shells.
That's crazy.
That's where it does look like, okay, this nigga planned this out at the very least.
Like the silencer and that, if both of those are true.
Mm-hmm. And then he had the bike, he got on the bike and just was off. Like he did it at the right time.
His face wasn't in the
at all.
No, but it was just the back of the hood.
But it was still sloppy though. It was still that's why I don't think it was a professional hitman, because it was sloppy as fuck.
Because why were you in cameras in the first place?
Why were you in camera? There was a woman there. If you look at it, there was a woman who saw him. She looked right. I think he had a mask at the bottom of his face though.
Nobody's come out. All of the New Yorkers said murder. What murder?
I mean, again, I'm not going to be somebody here who's going to be like, oh, we need to feel empathy for this guy, because I want to live in a world where CEOs don't feel safe walking around.
You shouldn't.
Pay your protection tax to the working class by having the working class protect you from the working class. And especially if you out here doing bullshit, I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for you. Eat the rich on y'all.
I hope somebody's uncle murdered you because y'all didn't
Denied
let
his wife
somebody.
coverage.
I was gonna say y'all didn't give his grandma chemo or something. Like if that's the case, then I hope he gets away with it, and I hope he isn't found.
And the way these insurance companies acting, did you hear about what happened to what Blue Cross Blue Shield announced today?
No.
So Blue Cross Blue Shield, they announced that they will no longer be. I'll read this right here. They will no longer cover anesthesias for the full length of certain surgeries in Connecticut, New York, and Missouri. So essentially, there's a certain amount of time they'll cover, and then any time after that, you have to pay for the anesthesia.
That's crazy. Y'all just got to get rid of Blue Cross Blue Shield if you live in New York, New Jersey, wherever the fuck else.
So, I mean, this just, to me, I'm surprised. And I read a tweet that said this, and it made me really think. It says, in a country where guns are so prevalent, where we have violence, it goes around so common and so often, why don't we have more people in the oligarch, like the elite class, this happen to more often? We're so ready to just shoot and kill each other at their work, but you rarely know. I think that's very interesting. I think we may be getting to a point after this Trump situation, where we might be getting to seeing this happen more and more. No, I think we're going to pretty much find some more. I don't know if we're ever going to find this person, honestly. They said that he left the bike at like a bus stop area.
Are there no prints on the bike?
No. And the bike got picked up by somebody else. So, I mean, somebody else already touched it and compromised it.
Oh.
Because for some reason they had this nasty video, right, of these young boys, and they were using like 2001 era cameras to like encourage you to like support the police state. It was really nasty because they were showing how they could look up the bike and where the bike went to and where it was dropped off and all that. And they were like trying to encourage people to be surveillance agents, which is nasty. I also saw another tweet that was going around where these women were saying they're okay if, like, say if they order food and it says there's a woman supposed to be dropping the food off and a man comes, they're okay with reporting them, even if the man doesn't do anything to them.
Yeah, 100%.
That is so problematic.
Because why?
Because maybe I can't get here because my license is not renewed. Something could be going on. I could be helping a woman that I'm using this for to make money.
No, that's not. Don't send no random man to my house.
But they're not sending no random man to your house. They're sending food to the house. If they don't do anything to you, why are you shitting on them? Like that's what I don't understand is why are you okay?
I've had a girl pull up to as a like Uber driver with her nigga in the passenger seat, and I fully reported that bitch.
For what though?
Because why is your nigga in the?
But what did he do to you though?
Who is this nigga?
Somebody in her car. It's her Uber.
No, absolutely not.
That's
As a woman, y'all, we're not playing no type of games. And then there's also been a bunch of reports of like DoorDashers and food delivery people.
But they're doing something.
Like they're supposed to be doing like a drop off or something, and then they like try to break into the house, or like somebody who isn't the person on the icon shows up and they try to do something.
Okay, and I understand that.
If,
hold on, can we stop right there?
If people are doing that, then I'm gonna report you so that doesn't happen to the next woman potentially.
So if they didn't do it to you,
yes,
you're going to say that you're going to automatically put them that impression on them. You see the problematic with that? Like that, I don't think y'all
if we didn't live in a constant state of danger, then maybe I would
live in a constant state of danger. You live in a perceived state of danger where people are telling you you're in.
Are you literally telling me that women don't have to be consistently like overly protective of themselves and overly vigilant because of random violence that can happen to us on a regular basis?
I'm not saying that. No,
okay, I'm saying that we live in a constant state of danger, of potential danger, and if the person whose icon it is does not show up and he doesn't do anything here, I don't feel comfortable just letting that rock, because there might have been a situation where like he didn't want to do something here, but what if he does something with the next person? And then what if I see like his fucking image on the news in a couple weeks and this person attacked blah blah blah, and I could have stopped it before because I felt something weird.
You do know that's the same logic and racism they use to justify white racism against black people?
Look, yo, if your icon, if it says that like Ashley is showing up
and Hunter shows up and Hunter just gives you the food and don't do nothing to you, you gonna report Hunter?
He getting hunted.
That's
getting
lame
reported.
as fuck, and y'all just be so easily victimized and being being used by the police state. Y'all don't understand how y'all are being used by the surveillance state to affect your own fellow man. Nigga ain't do shit to you but trying to make $1. Didn't make you uncomfortable. Didn't do anything except exist as a man, and you're okay with just throwing him under the bus.
Yep.
That's sick. Like, that's the problem right there, is that they take that fear that you're perceiving is happening, which is at a small clip. If we want to be honest, if we want to actually look at the larger number of people who are being caught or reported for these things, it's a small, minute people.
You live this way too. You constantly do dumb little shit in case something dangerous might happen.
I protect myself. I don't sit here and put other things onto people when they haven't hurt me. When have I done that?
No, you haven't.
I don't do that. If you haven't,
I
done
just
wrong
think you do little dumb shit that protects yourself all the time,
Yes,
and
but it's not-
people could perceive the shit that you do as unnecessary, just like what you think this is.
But context matters, and the context is I control my own actions. I don't dictate other people's actions so that they can be around me. And I think that's one thing you're ignoring at that point. I say, oh, I'm not going to go here because I don't say, oh, if I'm going to go here, all y'all niggas need to wear white t-shirts so I know who y'all. No, I don't say that. So that's where, to me, y'all are, and again, it happens with, vulnerable communities and things like that get used to help the bigger state surveil and control and create a police state. But, the what if, as we get so manipulated by the what ifs.
We'll agree to disagree like we do on most topics.
It is what it is, man. Because you don't want to see the truth, man. You don't. Atlanta is going to be in disarray. I just want y'all to be prepared. These fucking clowns and fucked up this case. And now every Atlanta nigga born after 1990 is going to think they're invincible. So I want y'all to be understanding. Get ready. It's going to be bad.
When I saw that these guys beat the case, a part of me was like, yay, because y'all beat the system, and there's just a very niggerly part of my heart that's regardless, I like when black people beat the system because white people beat the system and they do egregious shit and don't go to jail all the time. The only thing is that these people were what's the word I'm looking for? They were
monsters.
No. They were
savages.
They were terrorizing black communities. So yeah, they probably they should belong in jail. But the case was super fucked up. And it wasn't concise and it was dragged out, and this should just teach the prosecutors from now on to get your shit together like you should have. You should have a case that you can fully.
No, it wasn't just that. They did stupid mistake after stupid mistake.
Yes.
Give that fucking asshole Woody fucking any kind of immunity. What do you think? He fucking played y'all.
And then he got up there and was like, I lied about everything.
Yeah, you gave him immunity that he's not going to get in trouble for anything he say on the stand. And then what he do? Recant everything. Mm-hmm. Everything was, I lied here. I lied.
Do you think that he would have said anything if they didn't give him immunity?
If he didn't comply, then guess what I get to use? I get to throw you in jail for not reporting to court when you're supposed subpoenaed, and then I have documents of you making statements that I need to be used. Now you can't recant these statements because you didn't come to court. Mm-hmm. So again, it would have been smarter for them to say, no, nigga, you answer the question. And if you don't, it's cool because we got you on videotape already making these statements. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, these niggas wanted to show we switched up. We got your boys to switch up on you and all this other shit. They wanted to rub it in their face and have these motherfuckers go on the stand to start telling shit. And all they got to do is say, I don't remember.
Do you think that Thug should not have taken that plea since the other guy got, I don't know his name. He's not guilty?
I don't know. I think that could have been a little different with adding him into the equation with it.
Brian still did not want him to take that plea. He wanted him to take it all the way. He said it.
Yeah, he did say that. Brian probably believed in it. I think that there would have been some underhandedness going on to be like, we got to throw something at him since we got him this close.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big
He
thing.
probably would have, but time served. Like, he's been in there for a long time.
Yeah.
He probably would have got like much less probation.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing how the case worked out for everybody else, I feel like now that might have been a mistake on Doug's part. Like 11 years of probation, and then like he can't do shit. You make one mistake, your ass is in jail.
Yeah, I think he just kind of got to the point where he just wanted to whatever happened just happen.
I think he was mentally fed up with being there.
And
in
it could
that
have also
state.
been a financial thing too. We don't know that. It could have been a point where it's like we're leveraging too much money to
maybe
keep this going. So let's just take it where it goes. Again, you know, Fannie Lewis and all. Her name's Lewis, right? Yeah, Fannie Lewis and everybody who's had this, y'all did a horrible job. Y'all should be ashamed
terrible
of yourself.
fucking job. But she got reelected, right?
Yeah.
So,
but she's taken down other groups and stuff in there, and the Trump thing helped her out too. The fact that, you know, she was looked at as an enemy of Trump, but she's actually getting subpoenaed now because she wasn't releasing information during the Trump case. So now that this conservative watch group is forcing her to now, release that information. But again, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, and y'all just want y'all to know y'all have only done so much to destroy the city even more. Like, y'all are horrible politicians. You're dumbasses, and I hate all y'all. I think that should be fair.
that covers it.
Y'all clowns is bringing Cop City just so that y'all have now this rejuvenated base of delinquents who think they can do whatever they want. They gonna think, we can get over on anything. We got it. We good.
I'd be trying to forget about Cop City.
No, we can't do that, baby cakes.
It's
Can't
already
do that all.
happening.
Yeah, no, we got to keep fighting though. Got to keep resisting. Got to keep speaking out the word. Can't give up.
Can we still stop it?
We can We can resist it. We can continue to resist. Did you see what happened with Dion and his wife?
Oh, yeah.
Ex-wife.
Yeah, I saw him run away from her.
See, I don't like that because for one thing, nigga, Dion, you was the one allegedly hitting on her, choking her. So she should be the one that's running.
Okay, for her life.
And then, you know, another thing too, I don't like, if that would have been the other way around and she would have ran off from him, y'all would have been like, oh, she wrong, making it about her, taking away, because it was the kid's senior day. Mm-hmm. So there was like the kid's moment. But I didn't hear no one say, oh, Dion should be ashamed of himself taking a moment away from his kids, making it about, like, I didn't see nobody say that. And it's just so funny to me how I always be right about this accountability shit. Like, the accountability is always cool when it's the hoes and the queers. But when it's telling your fellow nigga to have some accountability or to act a certain way, now we can't do that. That's a fucking problem.
Yeah, men deserve less.
I wouldn't say that. I just feel like we need to hold people accountable.
I would say that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Men deserve less.
But you also want men to build your, you know, wall, your homes and your yard, and you want them to do all sorts of other shit. You want them to change your oil.
If I fucking drive into the Valvoline and it's all niggas there, then what the fuck am I gonna do?
You think it's gonna be women in there?
Start a riot?
You think there's any women signing up to that?
No.
You think there's any women who don't have big backs
Like,
that's
okay,
signing up to change some oil?
you made your point and then I made mine.
That's hate. You need to be better than
Like, you can't tell me to stop saying things.
that. I can.
Me saying things got us to millions.
What do you think what me saying things have done?
Less than that.
That's hate. That's hate. Who edited those clips?
Well, yeah, you doing things definitely gets us places.
So speak to me as such. All right.
But speak to me as me saying things getting us millions of views.
No one said I didn't speak to you.
Okay, don't tell me to not say things. If I want to say some shit, I'm gonna say it.
Don't say things. Don't be a mouth.
And then people are gonna like us as a result of me saying said shit.
People like me. People like me, nigga. All right. Damn, it was something I was about to bring up. I can't remember. Oh, Eminem. Mom passed away. Should we do condolences? Because I feel like if your son, who's famous, made like half of his career about like hating you, I don't think we have to feel sorry about anything when you die.
Generally, I'm sad if somebody loses their mom, but like specifically, I don't give a fuck.
Like Kim, we know so much about Kim and that's not what her name was, Debbie. We know so much about Debbie and like Marshall's relationship. Like he talks to the fact like his drug addiction came from like going into her pantry.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't listen to Eminem.
Yeah, he talks about that on his music.
That's why I the hits. You know, I was listening to B-side.
I was just listening to some old songs and just thinking about like, how does he feel?
like right now. And I'm thinking like he's got to be super conflicted.
We don't know if he like made amends with his mom eventually in his later life.
No, they didn't.
No,
No reports have been made that they ever made amends.
Well, reports aren't really made about Eminem that much.
Yes, there is. About him.
About his private life now?
Did you not just realize? Yes. They talk about his daughter Haley all the time.
Okay, my bad. I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're not into it. You were surprised that he was number 4 on the list.
Yeah, because when's the last time that Eminem dropped the album?
This year.
Yo.
he's nominated for a Grammy.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I can't get with the white rappers. Like
Oh
like
my
Mac
goodness.
Miller is,
I thought
Mac
you were
Miller is
playing.
the only one that I was like I could really get jiggy with for real.
I thought you was playing when you just
No.
said that. I thought you was just setting up for a joke.
No, I think Eminem sets up really complicated rhyme schemes, but I don't like his flow. So I never really got into him that much other than a couple songs and his this is really random, but his featuring first song, Smack That, featuring Akon. Oh, looks like another club banger.
Smack that. Like the pull out the Eminem Akon shit.
The way he drops up and down them bars, looking like one of them hoodie cat dolls. Like,
see, like shit like that when Hobby realizing like, I'll be like, oh yeah, you definitely an immigrant. Cause like immigrants would love a song like that.
All on the floor, smack that. Oh,
yeah. See all that. That's some shit like where you in America. And this is like bringing in that vibe right now. Like this is an American song.
And then he was when he was harmonizing, all on the floor, give me some more. That's my shit.
That shit was crazy.
That's my shit.
All right. Before we wrap up and head out, man, we gotta shame Biden a little bit, man. Nigga was lying to us for almost a year and some change.
About what?
His fucking son, saying he wasn't gonna pardon his son, and as soon as he get on the chance, he does.
Oh yeah, period. Because Trump got all his charges dropped. He was like, "Oh, this what we doing? I'm gonna drop some charges too."
Well, I mean, Trump
I'm gonna throw out some pardons too.
Trump has pardoned people too, especially family members, even though they did do jail time when he pardoned them already. He just kind of got it off of their name.
But what has Hunter Biden been accused of other than like doing drugs and like sending out dick pics?
That's not what he got arrested. What he got arrested for was on his gun paperwork. He didn't tell them that he was a drug addict. So that's a crime right there. And then he had like tax things.
Okay.
Like the stuff about Russia and all that other stuff they were saying, that he wasn't being charged with none of that.
Listen, tax crime isn't crime for real.
But Biden pardoned him from 2014 to 2024. So whatever potential things he may have gotten caught up in.
Yeah, if my daddy the president, you better do some shit.
To me, again, I don't have a problem with it per se because I know all of them are scumbags. But this is a scumbag move. Like
it is, yeah.
It's definitely the reason why he's did it. We gotta go back to this whole Kamala shit because everybody keeps forgetting this nigga did not want to get out of the race. I said that before. I said that when he announced it. I said that when she lost. I'm saying it now. He did not want to get out of the race. He was saying he was willing to throw his son to the wolves in exchange for still trying to be president. So that is the reason why he was doing all of this.
But he's definitely not going to be president no more. That nigga is about to die. So he was like, let me just
save
my son.
You lost. So now my son could be attacked more.
Yeah.
The nigga's a druggie. He can't protect himself. I got to protect him.
There's videos of him tweaking out like.
Oh, no. He that guy. He that guy.
Yeah, no.
When it comes to getting
we
lit.
doing that booger sugar.
He get right. But no, I feel like he should be shamed. I think it was really nasty what Charlemagne, well, not Charlemagne, but Whoopi Goldberg, she was talking with Charlemagne about it on The View. And it was really nasty because
Charlemagne on The View is crazy.
She did this thing where like I noticed a lot of our women do when we're having a discussion. Because he said that was ridiculous in regards to her statement. And she called him ridiculous. And then she got upset. Was like, do I need to come give you a kiss, mama? And he went over there and like gave her like a hug or whatever. But it's like, you a grown ass woman. You can't listen to when somebody says your statement was ridiculous and not respond with calling them a name.
No. What is that?
That's crazy. It's cool. That's crazy. That's insane.
No.
See, that's what I'm saying though. At all,
don't criticize anything I say.
They all the same. At every age, they all the same. There's no age and no truth. Just children, young. That is ridiculous. You being dead ass, or are you just being your character?
I'm being dead ass.
That's ridiculous. That's insane.
Don't critique anything I say.
Don't worry, I am all in my head.
Yeah, no, keep it there.
No, I'm going to announce it in just a moment because that is ridiculous that you just can't just hold her to account and say, why are you being like this? You shit on Whoopi before.
Yeah.
So why can't you do it here?
I don't certainly feel like it right now.
But
I'm
she
not
defending a white man.
I'm
though.
not riled up and fired up like I was before when she was shitting on our whole like
Generation?
age group. Yeah. Like whole generations of people that she was shitting on versus like one person.
I'm sorry. I hate seeing
And then like
the tap dancing.
calling Charlemagne ridiculous is never like fully out of bounds.
See, that's the thing where you feel like it's okay to take shots at people when it's unwarranted. And I
when
don't
it's
understand
specific
that.
people.
Yeah, but you feel specific. No, I feel like you.
No, when it's
kinda
specific
did
people, because if it was just a random journalist that she said this to, then I'd be like, that's crazy.
Okay.
But Charlemagne, I literally watched him sniff seats as women got up
And
on
then
the
he said
Breakfast Club
and then he changed.
for like a decade.
And then he told us black privilege.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's growth. You gotta be somewhere.
I haven't grown.
I just hate that. I just hate it. That just triggered me a lot because I've had a lot of those kind of like lowbrow communication people around me, and that bothers me so much when I'm like, what you said was stupid. I didn't call you stupid, and that just triggers me a lot because I just think about past experiences. So, but before we wrap up the show, I have to say something. We listen, but we don't judge, right? That's how it goes.
yeah.
Your new box makes me insecure. Just gonna put that out there. Your little trinket box. I don't like that. The history of it. I don't like that it took over our tray. That looks like you threw away our tray. I can't even find it.
It's in a drawer.
I feel like it is indicative of all my insecurities. Just to be honest with you.
I feel like that's ridiculous.
I'm just trying to be honest here. I don't mind keeping it light. I'm being serious, but I don't mind keeping it light with it. I just think that
Like I got a gift. Like something that was completely out of my control. I didn't seek this out. I didn't buy this myself. I didn't even tell them that I specifically wanted this. I was like, oh, I wish I could get something like this, but the tray that we have has sentimental value. And then she got me the same thing that I said that I liked, and then gave me an idea on how to preserve the thing that has sentimental value. So I don't know.
I'm sorry that I thought we had something together that we put our own love and passions and thoughts into that was us. And then you just quote unquote upgrade it just on a whim of what a friend just did instead of just thinking about the beauty and the growth that was our trait. And I just feel like it's just indicative of my insecurities and fears that you're just going to just find it better.
I understand, and I accept that.
I don't think you empathize with me at all. I don't think you want to make me feel better. I don't think you want to assure me of any confidence.
It's a gift.
Look how you're being dismissive.
Like I don't know what to tell you.
Or it could be like, hey, I care about you and I don't want you to feel like this is happening. So hey, maybe even give me the option. We can go back to like there's nothing there.
You can use it in the other room. I don't want to go back to it.
See? Look at that.
I don't.
No sacrifice or nothing.
It's better looking.
Nothing. Look what you care about.
And it's more efficient, and then it takes up less space.
See, look at that. That's crazy, yo. That's wild. History, just who cares about it, yo?
And then it comes with so many compartments. I was literally first of all, we were supposed to completely cover that tray, and then we did it once and then never did it again. And then I wanted to do it again, and then you fucking fell asleep that night. So then I didn't even try to do it again. So that's number one.
We can still do it. It's not stuck.
That's number one. We can still finish it, and then we can use the fucking tray for something else.
That's crazy, yo. I just feel like that's just disheartening. I just feel like you don't have any level. I think that goes back to the sibling thing. It was like you don't have any kind of like view of tradition or like.
Do you want me to give the gift back?
You just don't have to use it.
I like it, so I'm gonna use it. I don't know what to tell you.
See, man, this is what happens in the movies, the little gifts from their friends, inspires desires that X you out, and that's what's gonna happen to me. Look how you don't even want to give me no reassurance or nothing.
Because you're being absolutely fucking ridiculous. I got a gift from
told you-
somebody else, and then you think that it's gonna reassure me to leave you in our marriage because I got a gift?
That's how it starts.
A gift.
That's how it starts.
That's
I
$50.
watched Tyler Perry movies.
You're being so fucking
I watched
dramatic that I
Tyler
don't
Perry.
even want to acknowledge these
See?
feelings.
How can we grow?
Because they're absolutely
How can we grow?
ridiculous.
How can we grow? How can we grow?
This is stupid.
How can we grow? How can we grow? Well, I want to thank y'all for listening. As you can just see that shows on the last leg here. We're not. I don't know if we're gonna make it till next week with this one. Oh man, that's crazy. But see, if it was me, I would be expected to be the bigger person. I would have to like show like some example of like why this isn't important, why I don't need to show that I'm, attached to this at all. But it's why men, when you're in a relationship, you're just the better person, honestly. It's the only way it works. It can't work if the woman thinks she's the better person. She knows it. One more opportunity to say something.
Are you gonna do the sign out?
I'm giving you an opportunity to
I'm not taking it.
to do something. To fight for me.
Fighting for a man is crazy, and that's not my brand at all.
See, that's
I've had like about
There's a lot of-
about what 70 episodes of me establishing my brand of not being the type of bitch who fights for a nigga who's being dramatic over a gift that her friend got her.
See, now this is what I'm telling y'all.
Sign out.
There's gonna be a lot of women who watch this and they're gonna think that you being for real and they're gonna follow this example. It's a bad example. Life is a labor of love. So let's keep building these moments together. Not this kind of moment.
It's a labor.
This is a shitty moment.
It's a labor.
And remember, your job is not your family, but your family might betray you for their friends. So that could happen too. But the only thing that you should exploit is these corporations and potentially your significant other.
Follow
who
us
has
on all of the social media
emotions
at
and
talk.fnf.tv on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you're on YouTube right now, leave us a comment, a like. Love you. Bye.
I'm not safe, guys.